Pray. Good day to Mr. Ganesh and my fellow friends. I'm Hariharan, son of Ganesan. Today I'll be presenting about part 2 of our presentation, and let's move on to our agenda. So the agenda of our presentation will be investment opportunity in Vietnam, part 2, and the first item in our agenda will be political environment in Vietnam. Second item will be legal environment in Vietnam, and third item will be cultural environment of Vietnam, and fourth item will be introduction to our consumer product, and fifth item will be tariff and non-tariff barrier in Vietnam, and the sixth item in our presentation will be geography, demographic, economy, and psychographic of Vietnam. I think that's all. Move on to our first presenter. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Lee Nian Yu. My monthly number is 191383. Today I want to introduce the political system of the Vietnam. So let's move on our presentation. Okay everyone, so now I will introduce the political environment of Vietnam. The first things we need to know the political party in Vietnam. In Vietnam, actually, the Communist Party is the only political in Vietnam, and the political of Vietnam are defined by the single part Socialist Republic forward. Another is the political system. In Vietnam, one part people's Congress system is their political system. Inside within this system, the president of Vietnam is the head of the state and the prime minister of Vietnam is the head of the government in the one-part system, led by the communist part of Vietnam. So now the current president is the Wan Phu Yen. This pronounced Wan Phu Yen, and who was elected by the nation assembly in August 2018, and he is the most powerful person in the Vietnam. Then is the Wan Chen Phu, is Vietnam's political characteristic as the Prime Minister of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. This is about the political party and political system. Then let's see the political risk assessment. Actually, the political risk in Vietnam is moderate and related primarily to uncertainty about leadership succession and policy continuity. The fight against corruption is the key political issues in Vietnam. Actually, because he is the developing country, so many the corruption issues in their country now. Then the Vietnam last labor law change is also the big problem. Actually, the labor law change gives so many benefits to their nation employer, but also give so many pressure on the foreigner company. So who want to open the company in Vietnam? You are a foreigner, so you need to consider about that. Then is the territorial disputes in the social China Sea. Actually, China and Vietnam has so many conflict for their territorial disputes, and the Vietnamese community part remains firmly in power despite some republic discontent over the lack of personal freedom. And another thing is about the COVID-19. But actually, in these things, they do it so good. So the government help the people, and sometimes they will provide so many the areas and the medical to help people to kill the COVID-19. So these things will not influence and weaken the Vietnam. If you see the spider chart, so you see the COVID-19 is unlikely the materially weaken Venus political stability in the 2020 because because they deal with these things very good. They use some policy, or they also use the government power to help people to save them from the suffer. And this is also a benefit from the factory because so many the manufacturing can reduce the reply on China, because before they just import so many the goods and products from China. After that, maybe they will create their own factor. And the World Bank ranks Vietnam is 70th out of the 119. So actually, Vietnam outperform emerging Asian peers in most areas of doing business. They do business very good in the areas, the Asia. Thank you. So next, I will remove to my partner.
Hi everyone, my name is Nur Salamiro. My metric number is 195453, and today I will presenting about the legal environment of Vietnam. And let's move on to our slide. The legal environment of Vietnam. Constitution of Vietnam. The Constitution of Socialist Republic of Vietnam is the current Constitution of Vietnam, adopted on 28 November 2013 by the 13th National Assembly. It is the fourth constitution adopted by the Vietnamese government since the political reunification of the country in 1976. Vietnam has had a single unified legal system since 1975. Vietnam's socialist legal system is influenced by Eastern and Western legal tradition, the French civil law system, and Soviet communist legal ideology. Sources of law, legislation, legal normative document is the most important source of law. The Constitution is the supreme law. Judicial decisions are not sources of law in Vietnam. However, guidelines on the interpretation of laws are issued in the form of resolution by the Judge Council of the Supreme Court. Treaties are source of law. In general, customary law practice is not a source of law. However, customary practice is referred to as a source of law in specific legal document. The People Court in judicial branch of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam exercising judicial power. The People Court system of Vietnam consists of: one is Supreme People Court, second is the People High Court, third is Provincial People High Court, fourth is District People Courts, and five is Military Court. We move on to the legislation, corporate taxation. All taxes are imposed at the national level. The standard corporate income tax rate is 20%. There is no concept of tax residency for CIT. Business organizations established under the laws of Vietnam are subject to CIT and tax on worldwide income. Foreign organizations carrying out business in Vietnam without setting up a legal entity in Vietnam are considered foreign contractors. Payment for foreign contractors are subject to foreign contractor tax, which consists of value-add tax and CIT elements. Company formation and ownership regulation. Foreign investor can form several kinds of legal entities with a limited liability company and a joint stock company, being the most popular choices of company registration in Vietnam. The legal entity is then categorized based on the percentage of its foreign investment. As most industry in Vietnam allow foreign entrepreneurs to own up to 100% of shares, a wholly foreign-owned enterprise is a common business structure in Vietnam. International investors can also find a local partner and incorporate a joint venture company with a local foreign ownership. Next is reputation of profits. Vietnamese law allow a foreign invested enterprise to remit abroad the profit gained from its business activities in Vietnam. The remittance of the profits might be in cash or in kind, and might be made annually or at the termination of the investment project. If is it in cash, it is allowed to be made in a freely convertible currency at the exchange rate at the bank of investor choice. Foreign investor is not permitted to remit overseas profits distributed or received from the direct investment activities in Vietnam for the year in which profit arises. Next, we will talk about the marketing laws. In Vietnam, some advertising relate the legislation apply generally, such as the law on commerce number 36/2005/KH11 adopted by the National Assembly of Vietnam on 14 June 2005. Law on Advertising number 16/2012/KH13 adopted by the National Assembly of Vietnam on 21 June 2012. Advertising falls within the larger concept of commercial enhancement, which is the legal term of art. Commercial enhancement additional includes sale of promotion, the display and introduction of goods and services, trade fair, and exhibition. And next is environmental legislation. The environmental has introduced a resolution raising the environmental protection tax for petroleum products, coal, and plastic bags from January 1, 2019. And we will be explained in part 5 of this presentation. We move on to copyright protection. Trademarks. The trademark system in Vietnam protects symbols, three-dimensional objects, color, and other visual devices that are used to identify a business product or services. Trade name rights are established through use rather than being formally registered. With respect to online domains, they are handled on first come, first served basis. Trademark lasts for 10 years and can be renewed indefinitely for further 10 years period, and registration can take up to 15 months to complete. Trademarks can be registered in Vietnam. Okay, we talk about corruption perception index, CIP. As you can see in the slide, Vietnam get rank number 90 in 2019. Vietnam get rank number 96 out of 180, and the score is 37 out of 100. And Malaysia CIP score get rank number 51 out of 180, and the score is 53 out of 100. Okay, ease of doing business ranking. The government commitment to private sector-led growth has helped improve the business climate. Vietnam regulatory quality and ease of doing business generally improved over the years. However, structural problem in the land and credit market and the still large state-owned enterprise sector remain obstacle to the private sector. Okay, anti-corruption. In recent years, Vietnam took steps to strengthen governance and fight corruption. The revamp to 2018 anti-corruption law clarifies and strengthens law for combating corruption. That's all from me. I will pass to my friends. Thank you.
Hello everyone, it's my honor to speak here and I'm very glad to share my topic with you, and then let me introduce the cultural environment of Vietnam. Now I will introduce the racial, religion, and the main belief of the Vietnamese first, then introduce the local personality and some business customs. The first is the racial. As you can see on the slide, 87% of Vietnamese identified as Vietnamese. And what about other 30%? There are actually 54 different ethnic groups in Vietnam. And considering Vietnam is a country with a large population, only 30% of the population adds up to 8 million people. So the next about the religions. For the major religion in this country are Buddhism and Catholicism. Vietnam's belief system is largely based on the folklore, and Vietnam has traditionally been one of the least religious countries in the world. And then let me talk about the characteristic of Vietnamese people. Vietnamese people are a little bit timid. That's why it's hard to start a conversation after meeting someone. So they are also hardworking, especially Vietnamese women who often start their day earlier and finish it late. Vietnamese, on the other hand, they love their family very much. Whenever they feel tired, the best motivation is their sweet home. And moreover, There is no doubting that nationalist sentiment is running high in Vietnam. Have you ever seen a little boy who knows the death has no continental, but also insists on volunteering for war? So every Vietnamese is reportedly willing to protect their borders. So then, as same as other Asian countries, the Vietnamese are remarkably humble. If you price someone, they will reject the price you in return. And this is how Vietnamese maintain a harmonious relationship with their friends and colleagues. And then I'm going to introduce some Vietnamese custom. If you know this, you will don't often them when you do business. So as you can see on the slide, they are very formal in their greeting and dress in business communication. And after business meeting, the best option is to present a company logo and exchange business card. And same with other country, they treat their superiors with respect in the workplace. About the PDI score, as you can see, Vietnam scored high on this dimension, a score of 70, which means that people accept a hierarchical order in which everybody has a place and which needs no future justification. And about the IDV score, Vietnam with a score of 20 is collectivistic society and manifest in a close long-term commitment to the member group to be that a family and extend family or extended relationship. Finally, I want to introduce those 4 points about cultural environment of Vietnam. In Vietnam's time culture, several things can be done at several time at the same time. Be human, and so they are more in line with the P time. With regard to gender bias, the Asian Pacific region continue to lag behind the rest of the world, except the Middle East and North Africa. According to the Global Gender Gap Report 2020, Vietnam ranks 87th, and that means women have a lower proportion of economy leadership and position in both emerging and developed countries. So as for the language and the culture, there are 105 languages in Vietnam. The 54 ethnic group recognized by the Vietnamese government and divided into 5 language families. And lastly, about the cultural context, Vietnam belongs to high context culture due to the relationship traditional culture, and this cultural context will not be easily changed due to the highly overlapping of Vietnamese culture, traditional history, local condition, and custom. So their expiration is in communication should be indirect and they try to avoid confrontation in their communication and as not to hurt each other's feeling. So that's all for my part. Thank you.
Hi, I'm here again to present about the consumer product that we would like to market in Vietnam and to present the tariff and non-tariff barrier of Vietnam. And our product will be like something unique and something related to my backdrop. It's about the 3 related to our product. And I'll start my presentation about the consumer product. Thank you. Hello everyone, now I would like to present about our consumer product that we would like to market in Vietnam. So our consumer product will be a bamboo food container and water bottle, and this is the real eco-friendly product because the product is entirely made of bamboo, and this product produces zero toxic waste. And there's a lot of what they call it food container and water bottles. They are grading it as biodegradable plastics made of biodegradable plastics. But biodegradable plastics won't solve the plastic crisis because it takes many years to decompose. And moving on to the next slide, why we choose bamboo lunchbox and water bottle. Okay, the main reason is many people are turning into using eco-friendly products, and many Vietnamese consumers are environmentally aware and interested in using eco-friendly product, but there's a lack of options for them for the eco-friendly product. And eco-friendly products are trending all over the world, and Vietnamese government also like well aware of the country's environmental issue, like a lot of plastic produced every year, and they are implementing rules and regulation and regarding environmental change. And but Vietnamese government also like supporting a lot of environmental production of a lot of environmental products, and these are the benefits, and that we are like why we choose bamboo lunchbox and water bottles. Thank you. Now I'll be presenting about the tariff and non-tariff barriers of Vietnam. Okay, the main import tax of Vietnam, and first one is value-added tax (VAT). Okay, VAT is like value-added tax is like imposed on a lot of goods that's imported, and it can be ranged from 0% to 10%. And certain products get tax exemption, the products that cannot be produced in Vietnam. And next one is special consumption tax. It's imposed on the luxury goods that's imported from other countries, and it can be ranged from 7% to 100% and more than 100%. And moving on to the next slide, it's about the categories of tariff rate in Vietnam. First one is common tariff rate. Second one is most favored nation tariff rate. Third one is preferential tariff rate. Common tariff rate. Okay, common tariff rate, which is 50% higher than MFN, like most favorite nation rate of duty, and applies to countries that have not established a normal trade relationship with Vietnam. And next one is most favored nation tariff rate. It is imposed on countries that have members of a World Trade Organization, and it's like imposed on them is around 7.9% of tariff is imposed on them. And then the last one is about the that's related to us. It's a preferential tariff rate that is imposed on Asian it's a AFTA, it's an Asian Free Trade Area, and applies to import from countries and regions which is Vietnam has signed a bilateral and regional agreement, and Malaysia is one of the country that are under preferential tariff rate. Okay, moving on to the next slide, so environmental tax. So a lot of tax is imposed on products that causes damage the environment. For example, anthracite coal, around 20,000 Vietnamese dong to 30,000 Vietnamese dong is imposed per ton. And plastic bags, for example, plastic bags around 40,000 Vietnamese dong to 50,000 Vietnamese dong per kilogram. And kerosene around 300 Vietnamese dong to 1,000 Vietnamese dong per liter. And moving on to the next slides. It's about the HS code, harmonized system code, tax that related to our product, that is a bamboo product. And our product, the tariff classification, chapter 46, and there's no tariff imposed on our product because we are under AFTA agreement, and it is free, free tariff rate. Okay, non-tariff barriers. Okay, these are the 5 non-tariff barriers in Vietnam. Okay, first one is quantitative restriction and import licensing. Okay, goods is controlled under the regulation by national law and as well as international treaties and agreements. And several products have a quantitative restriction and need import licensing. For example, agricultural products and some medical devices and apparel products, drugs, and so on. So we need to have import licensing if you want to import the product. So next one is import prohibitions. Okay, some products are prohibited to be imported in Vietnam. And for example, the endangered animal skin and toxins that is dangerous for the human life. And it's like we have to follow the legislation requirements and international commitments of Vietnam. So moving on to the next one is price registration and stabilization. Okay, the Ministry of Finance have applied a lot of price controls when prices increases and decreases without a legitimate accuse. Okay, subject to the list that they have provided. So there'll be changes in the prices every time the Ministry of Finance controls the prices. And moving to the next part is sanitary and phytosanitary SPS standards. And Okay, there's a rules for the product weight and packaging, and for example, there's a product for the products that is really risky to be imported product. And for example, there's a mandatory labeling and like self life restriction and import testing and certification procedures. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, everyone. So now, next topic is about our target market. Let's move on. So let's continue to target market. For our target market, we need to think about four things, which is geography, demography, economy, and psychography. For geography, we choose the southeast regions. Why? Because it has a low poverty rate. So many rich people and they're not the poor people live in here. So they have enough money to purchase our green product. And total population is about 90 million. Here also have the Ho Chi Minh City. It's the largest city of Vietnam with a population of more than 4.2 million. And it also has two industry cities, which is Beer City and the Xinxiang. Okay, and let's see the demography. We find that it has a lot of people from 25 to 54 years old here. A study on the relationship between age and pro-environmental attitudes shows middle-aged adults have a consistent peaking of pro-environmental attitudes. So the person, the age who is in within medium, just from 25 to 6 like that. So they will more consider about the environment. Then let's see the economic. After our surveys, we find that have so many people have middle and high income here. So income state makes a difference on their preference as it stated in such a way that when the income is higher and consumer feel more, so free to purchase green products. The last thing we need to consider is the psychology. We believe the people who live here, they have a green consumer lifestyle. It means they have a very rich interest in saving the environment. So a green consumer is one who is very concerned about the environment and therefore only purchase products that are environmentally friendly or eco-friendly. So thank you for your attention. This is all our presentation.